I'm going to teach you how to swim freestyle step by step so that one day you can take the start of your first triathlon. There are 3 skills super important to master swimming: breathing, balance, and propulsion. And there's a 4th one, super important, that I will reveal at the end of this video. So make sure you stay until the end. There are many videos in YouTube that learn you tips and tricks how to swim freestyle better, but mostly for people who already know how to swim freestyle. There are not that many videos for people who would love to do a triathlon but don't know how to swim at all. Without further ado, let's start. Let's go back in our 3 key principles. We have breathing, then comes balance, or our body position in the water, and propulsion. So what you have to understand is that they are all interconnected. They all affect each other. Your breathing position will affect your balance will affect the propulsion, and your propulsion can affect as well the way you are able to breathe correctly. So they all are interdependent, okay? For example, if you spend too long time head up trying to breathe, as the head acts like the rudder of the boat, it gives the direction. If your head goes too much up when you are breathing, then your legs will go down. There's an order in the learning process. Number 1, you need to nail breathing. Then after that, you will focus on your body position, and only when you master these 2, then you will start to think about going forward. And that's the mistake of many beginners. They are trying to first go forward without mastering breathing or the position. And that, my friends, is a recipe for disaster. So first thing first, let's focus about breathing. What you have to understand first is when I'm on the land and when I'm in the water, the breathing pattern is not the same. On the land, you won't make any effort to breathe out. Breathing out is effortless, but you will need to make effort to breathe in. And it's reverse in the water. It's take more effort to breathe out, and it's effortless to breathe in. Why so? Because while swimming, you have the face in the water. So you need to push harder to exhale the air and to breathe out. Many times you hear beginners saying, I'm out of breath after 25 or 50 meters. It's not they are out of breath, it's that they have too much of it. They only focus in inhaling, and they forget to breathe out. And that's the kind of the same feel. Makes you feel like super tired. You have too much oxygen. So one first thing, if you want to swim distance with less fatigue, you need to make effort to exhale. Let's check how to do it with a simple exercise. Get in the water, hold the edge of the pool, and put your head down, breathing long, making many bubbles, and keeping the inhaling phase super short. Long time underwater, really push all the air out of your lungs. You repeat that many times. One variation for this exercise would be to go up and down the water. You go down, you push at the bottom, coming back just the head up, just quick time that you have enough time to inhale, and back down. Long time, let you go down, push at the bottom, and go back up and down like this, like bouncing on the pool up and down many times, so that you get the point. That is exhaling long, inhaling short. Now we're gonna learn how to breathe in the right position. So again, hold the edge of the pool, but only with one arm. One arm extended on the front, the other one on the side. And you're gonna put the head down, making your bubbles, exhaling long enough. And then instead of lifting the head up, you're gonna just turn the head and you're gonna look at your shoulder. To do it correctly, you have to make sure that one goggle is underwater, okay? And that you have one ear that is touching the arm. Don't lift the head up, but look at your shoulder, okay? Make sure you don't lift the head up, that you just turn it. It's like 2 positions, head down or head turning on the side. Second skill to master is your balance, your position in the water. One exercise to practice is a floating plank. If you would do a floating plank with both arms on the side, you see in this video, your legs will go down. The secret is to shift your buoyancy center on the front. So put the head down and put both arms on the front. And that will shift your body mass more on the front, and that will shift your buoyancy center. And that will allow you to float without any effort. You have to learn that you don't need to do any effort to stay at the surface. So it's really by trying to extend your arms as far as possible and keeping the head down, you will learn this natural position. Once you got the concept, we're going to move in a more dynamic way to find your balance in the water. We're going to practice a position called the arrow position. First, you place yourself against the wall and you push off the wall and you glide as narrow and stretched body as possible. The right position is that you put both hands top of each other's. You're going to tuck your head inside your arm. All the rest of the body is tight. You keep your legs straight and touching each other's. Feet are really extended like a ballerina position. Ideally, you would like to swim in this position forever, but we need to add arms and legs to the mix. But you need to always keep that mindset that you need to be as close as possible from that ideal position. What's important as well to master this arrow position is to keep the right body tension. And the right body tension, let's have a scale from 1 to 10. 1 will be, you will be so relaxed, it's like on the sofa, not moving, like Netflix and chill. And 10 will be like so much tension in your body you couldn't move. So while swimming, you need a tension about 7 out of 10, so pretty tense core. When doing that exercise of the arrow position and pushing against the wall, or every time you're going to swim and you're going to do a turn and pushing against the wall, it's a 9 out of 10, okay? So it's pretty tight. Let's start with the propulsion and with the kicks. So, best way to learn the kicks, you take a kickboard, you start to practice on short distance, what you have to understand for the technique of the kicks. Kicking in freestyle, it's a bit like a dolphin kick, like a wave, but one leg at a time. Here, for example, you will see a bit more what's the right movement. You want to do some propulsion down, like you whip down with the leg. You need to bend the leg for that. Many people think that the legs should stay straight at all the time. No, you shouldn't keep the leg straight, okay? It's a whipping down, whipping up motion, and not like straight legs. One way to practice the right kicking movement is to use short fins, those small flippers, and you have to let the fins guide your feet. Once you learn how to kick properly and moving forward, let's combine with breathing. Instead of holding the board with 2 hands, this time you're gonna hold the board with only 1 hand and practice your side breathing like you learned it already on the side of the pool. But now in motion with the kicks, we go step by step, adding each element toward the full freestyle. Now let's add the arms into the mix. You want to focus your propulsion on your arms and just keep the legs just for the balance, all right? So 90-95% of the propulsion come from the arm. So we're gonna learn how to do the arms. Let's add those progressively into what we already learned. So you're gonna start with the plank position, putting your arm on the front, keeping the head down. Little by little, you're gonna start with the small underwater dog paddling. Yes, you heard me right, like a small dog is paddling. Same way. And little by little, wider and wider move until you reach full arm length. Then you start to exit the hand at the end of the stroke and bring it back on the front. So transitioning from a plank to dog paddling to freestyle. So to do the arm move correctly, you need to think about the goal. What's your goal? The goal is to go forward, all right? So keep it simple. You want to catch the water on the front and then push straight back to the feet. One of the principles of Newton's law, action, reaction. So you don't want to waste energy to press down. What you want to do is as far as possible front of you, catching the water, placing your hand on the front. There are many ways to describe it. Some people say that you need to roll your arm around a virtual barrel, like a volume of water on the front. And you want to kind of send this balloon behind you. A weird way to say would be that you have an eye on the elbow and you want your elbow to look up. So you want the elbow up, you want a finger down, and this is called as well early vertical forearm. So you want to orientate the palm of your hand and your forearm that it will be in a direction to create motion. You want your hand to travel on line with the shoulder underneath the water. You want your elbow and the angle with the arm to be around 90 to 120 degrees. So here, for example, 103, and you want to have the hand traveling on line with the shoulder, okay? So think about if there would be two lines passing on the shoulder line, like a path, like rails. You want to swim on rails. And this zone in between the shoulder, it's a no-go zone for the hand. You don't want to overcross on the front or underneath the body. You want to keep stability. Think a bit about bench press position. That will ensure you stability and a strong stroke. So now I'm going to show you a drill, how to practice the right stroke, and we're going to focus one arm at a time. So a single arm drill. You would hold the board on the front, keep one arm straight on it, and you're going to paddle with only one arm. Keep the head for this time out of the water. Why? Because you want to look at what your hand is doing, so you can really focus. When you do a drill, you need to perform it slow. Why? Because if you don't master the move at slow speed, the chance that you will master it in faster speed is really low. When swimming at slow speed, what you can try to do is to keep one hand on the front, waiting quite much that the other hand is coming before starting the move. That's quite good for beginners and at low speed. Like this, you always have an arm on the front, and then remember it shifts the body mass on the front, so you don't need to use much your legs. But when you're going to want to increase the speed, then this technique of kind of a full front catch-up is not so effective to go faster. Why? Because if I keep one arm on the front while waiting that the other is coming, there's nothing happening under. Then you kind of have a pause in the stroke cycle. So your speed decrease and increase. And that's not really efficient. You want to keep the speed continuously. You don't want neither to do the windmill, because you want to still keep your arm a bit longer on the front. What I like to teach is a semi catch-up. With that technique, you wait only that the hand is at the level of the head. That's the cue moment to start the stroke. This way, you have a bit best of both worlds. You have at the same time a sufficient long time with the arm stretched on the front, so that you benefit of shifting the mass center, and at the same time you reduce the pause in the stroke cycle, so you have a more continuous motion. At the beginning of this video, I promised you there was a fourth element important to learn how to swim properly. It's getting confidence in water. If you are not confident with water to get started with, you won't be able to learn the technique properly. I've seen many athletes, even some who know how to swim, but it will always hold them back. If you feel that you are not 100% confident, play with water. Make fun with water. Go in the shallow end. Have fun. Remember when I told you that you need to fully extend your arm on the front? Body rotation will help you to do that. Click on this next video to see how rotation will help you to swim faster.